everyone, and welcome to Tabor Talk. I'm your host, Michael Tabor. So, getting right into this, we all heard what happened on Sunday night at the Washington Nationals World Series game, that Trump got booed, and there were chants of lock him up, and Trump was upset and he left. And here's what's interesting. Actually, Chris Coons, who's actually a senator, a Democratic senator, was appalled by this. It said the office of the presidency should, you should have some respect for the office. This was televised worldwide, and then you hear the boo. You see the president booing and then lock him up. But now, I'm going to play a clip from the Young Turks, and she explains why this is not just some regular politician whose views you oppose. This is a criminal and a gangster who should be impeached, removed, and then put in jail. All right, so let me just play this clip and then I'll respond some more. Here we go. Anna Kasparian, I love her. She's awesome. From the Young Turks. Ready?
Donald Trump went to a Nationals game in Washington, D.C., and he got booed. There were individuals who were chanting, lock him up, lock him up. So he was not a fan fave by any means. However, there are some Democratic lawmakers who are very unhappy and disturbed with those chants. Let's hear from Chris Coons.
I'm enough of a sort of traditionalist about our institutions that even at a time when there is a lot that our president does that I find disturbing, offensive,
it's a Democrat senator from Delaware, by the way.
I have a hard time with the idea of a crowd on a globally televised sporting event chanting "lock him up" about our president. I frankly think the office of the president deserves respect, even when the
totally
actions
disagree.
Of our president
this is not
at
a
times
regular
don't.
president.
I certainly hope that we won't hear "lock him up" chants at Democratic rallies or at our convention. I think that's one of the most regrettable, even at times despicable, actions by candidate Trump when he was running for president in 2016. It reminds me of things that happen in countries where rule of law is unknown or unestablished, and sort of whipping up public furor on both sides I don't think is constructive or helpful.
So I couldn't disagree with him more. One quick point before Jake jumps in. We're not talking about a president who's simply a political opponent for Democrats. We're talking about someone who has committed crimes.
Yep.
Someone who is being investigated right now for possible impeachment because of the fact that he tried to dig up dirt on his political opponents using the help of other foreign leaders, including the president of Ukraine.
Horrifying.
Yes, but based on Trump's own admission, he reached out to the leader of China to dig up dirt on Joe Biden as well. And then later we found out that he wanted to dig up dirt on Elizabeth Warren in addition to Joe Biden. So he is breaking the law. This is not some regular political opponent.
When you think about seeking aid from foreign countries to get dirt on political opponents, like you think, like, what did Nixon do, right? We have Watergate, right? You had this minor burglary, and you had, Liddy in the crowd, and it was a minor break-in because he wanted to get information on his opponents, on his opponents, on the Democrats. Minor little burglary. This is a million times worse and more serious. You're seeking aid from other countries. Let me just continue on. People are aware of this, I hope, right? The seriousness of this. He belongs, obviously, there's a whole lot of other stuff too, but impeachment, removed from office, and then put in jail for life. And I wish we had the freaking death penalty to enforce it, right? I'm serious about that. If there's one person who deserves a death penalty, it's this fucking scumbag. All right, let's go.
That we disagree with. This is someone who doesn't deserve respect, and considering the fact that he went around, saying lock her up in regard to Hillary Clinton, I think it's rich for anyone, including Senator Chris Coons, to, wag his finger at people who are chanting lock him up to an actual criminal.
First of all, the softness of these Democrats drives me nuts. So the Republicans will do and say anything about Democrats. They'll be incredibly vicious to Democrats. And instead of fighting back in kind so that we could have a real even match, the Democrats will send out guys like Chris Coons to unilaterally surrender and go, oh my God, it was so bad that he did it. We shouldn't do it in kind. We should just play patty cakes. And we should be weak and feckless. Now, that's partly his nature, Chris Coons, but it's also mainly because he loves working with Republicans and he loves the club. So Chris Coons has been one of the top allies for Republicans in the Senate. And if there's a tax cut to be passed for corporations and rich people,
Part of the same
Chris Coons
country
is
club.
all over it. Oh, you want to give
Democrats
legitimacy
and
to the Prayer
Republicans
Breakfast, a fundamentalist Christian
at
organization
that level.
that worked with Russia, and we broke that story on TYT Investigates, and goes around the world trying to pass laws against LGBTQ members, extreme laws, etc. Chris Coons is there to help whitewash the whole event. He's the co-leader of the Prayer Breakfast, and I can go on and on about Chris Coons and how much he helps conservatives and Republicans, and he's so proud of it. He's like, oh yeah, well look, he bragged recently, just a couple of weeks ago, about how he helped the 5 most vulnerable Republican senators in the Senate by working with them. Well, congratulations, Chris. So it's unsurprising that he comes out here and goes, well, I got to tell you, we really shouldn't fight back against Donald Trump. You know, we when they go low, we should go so high that we float away in a cloud.
I talked about it on social media.
But
about
the
going,
main reason he does it is because
I'll pause. Let me
he
fade out.
values the club more than he values his voters.
That's right.
Or what is right.
The country club.
So when he says,
let me pause this.
and you heard him say,
Actually, I responded to some comments. I posted something about. Actually, I posted that statue of the fat Trump naked, his big fat slob. And then even people on the left said, well, it's kind of mean. You're going low. And I go, listen, the Hillary, when he goes low, you go high. That doesn't work with deplorables. They don't understand that language. They're uneducated. They don't read books, all right? They're dull. The only language they understand is going low. It just goes right over their head. Like any sort of diplomacy or sophistication or whatever. Okay. On that note, good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. Peace, love, and understanding here on Tabor Talk.